The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. Today we do not have Pastor John McClain in the house, but I am filling in for him. My name is Andres Ruiz, motivational speaker, coach, and author, and I'm really blessed to be here doing this for John. And we have some very special guests, quite a great lineup for sure. And but before we get started, I know John likes to start with his prayer, so I'm going to be doing that for him right now. And it goes a little something like this. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, so we have our first guest, and this gentleman, his name is Corey Williams with Crest Insurance. So thank you for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Ed. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. So I know that there's a few hot topics that you would like to talk about in insurance. When we talk about these hot topics, can you tell us any specific hot topics that are going on right now at the moment?
Well, insurance is a reflection of society, what's going on. Everybody's trying to hedge themselves against risk. So whatever risk is out there, when if it's COVID and a pandemic, then health insurance is the issue. If it's climate change and wildfires, then homeowners insurance is the issue. And that's been a really big issue the last couple of years.
Interesting.
As you've seen a lot of carriers completely pull out of California. You had insurance carriers that lost so much money in almost 18 to 20 different states where they were losing money covering homes. Man. And they simply just refuse to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. And if you can't make money insuring a home, you simply stop insuring the homes.
That's wild.
So what we see in Arizona, what we see in California with wildfires, a lot of our clients, a lot of people in the business are experiencing a difficulty finding carriers that'll write homes. Northern Arizona, Southern California, anywhere where there's been a history of wildfires, they are simply not writing policies. So you got people who have invested their life savings into their home. They've made improvements, they've made investments, and now they're just out here with no protection, no hedging against any type of disaster. And it's a very precarious place to be in, especially if you're a homeowner. A lot of people have vacation properties that they can't get insured. And, it's something that we haven't seen before. And to be quite honest, I don't know that it's going to change anytime soon.
Wow. Yeah. It's interesting for myself, because I know people who are in the roofing industry. Some people are not getting covered for roofing as well, so that's another thing that I've been noticing, that sometimes people are just filing because maybe they had like a little scratch on their roof and then they're putting in false claims, whatever it is. And now people are not being accepted for insurance. So I definitely am hearing a lot about stuff like that, but also in regards to just having your house insured and not, just like the insecurity, the scarcity that might be causing for a lot of people.
Yeah, and a lot of times you talk about the cost of construction that differs so much from the time you take out the policy on whatever was built. When you start talking about replacement costs and how materials have skyrocketed in cost, whatever your house value, a lot of times if you were to have a loss or have a claim, the replacement value exceeds what's covered in your policy. So it's more expensive to rebuild the house. You had it insured at a set amount, and then they start running the numbers, and you start talking about wood, nails, paint, steel, concrete. Next thing you know, it's going to cost us more than that.
Wow.
So now you're in a situation where the coverage you have isn't sufficient. So replacement cost, that's something that everybody take out your policy, take a look at your home owner's insurance, see what the replacement cost is. Call us or call someone and talk to someone to make sure that you've got the right kind of policy. If you were to experience a loss, you don't want to find out that type of information at the wrong time.
No, absolutely not. And that's huge, man. For people, so when you talk about have people look at their policy? I'm guessing that some people are just going to look at their policy and they're going to say, what is this? Maybe they won't understand it. And in regards to yourself, what do you do for these people to make them see that, hey, you're not completely covered and you need to make an adjustment? What would that look like?
Well, first of all, there's no shame in that because I'm an insurance broker and I've never glanced at my own homeowner's policy. So I've never done it. I trust the people down the hall that wrote it. And if I have problems, I just get up and walk down there and yell at somebody. But for the average person, yeah, I mean, those things read like Greek. And if you don't know what the language means, you definitely want a consultation. And yes, a broker is going to do what a broker is going to do. They're going to try to sell you, but they will take the appointment. They'll review. One of the things we review policies with people all the time. And most of the time we say, hey, you're good with what you have. Don't change. But if we do see something, we're also going to assert ourselves and say, this is where you should be.
Of course.
You're underinsured or you're overinsured. A lot of people don't understand that. There's a lot of people who are overinsured.
Interesting.
Carrying more coverage than they need. And those are situations where, someone like Crest Insurance, we're going to sit down and tell you, hey, this is probably more than you need. This is where you should be, and help you save money because our goal is to have the relationship. We've got clients that we've had in this town for decades, and that's the kind of clients we want because when times are good, we're there. When times are bad, we're there. We live here. We are people from the community. We're not some foreign agency that's just hiring people in Tucson. The people at Crest live in the community.
Okay.
They live in these neighborhoods. They understand what everyone else in town goes through. So you're talking to someone who understands where you're at and is interested in having your insurance for a long time.
Absolutely.
So that's the difference.
That's good stuff, and I think it's really important just to have people that are in the community that understand the culture, that understand the environment, what's going on. So to know that's awesome, as opposed to people getting insurance maybe in another state or just going with the other insurances that are out there. Okay, so we talked a lot about home, but what about the auto space? What's going on there? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Same type of situation. Auto insurance has gone through the roof. Cars are more and more sophisticated when you talk about changes that are being made, whether EPA changes or everything's digital on cars now. So you're talking about more expensive vehicles, more expensive to paint and replace and all those things. And unfortunately, teenagers haven't gotten any better at driving than they've ever been. So if you're a family with young drivers, you're probably going to spend less on college than you will on insurance. So, that the auto space is one that's a little bit more predictable. Yeah. Because, it's kind of based on the make, model, and year of the car and the driving record and credit score, things like that. But, either way, you're still, especially for young drivers, you're in a very hostile environment in terms of getting insured. And what I will tell people is with auto insurance, it's plain and simple. You get what you pay for. I'm not going to name any names, but if you get your web insurance off a TikTok commercial, you're going to have TikTok insurance driving around these streets. That's just the way it is. So you've got to really pay attention because the insurance carriers they spend billions of dollars to get in your face and get you through the door. But who's going to sit there and work with you through a claim? I mean, I'll tell you a quick side story, and I'm kind of embarrassed, but a couple weeks ago, I accidentally washed my key fob in my washing machine. Oh, yeah. It's $500 Jaguar key fob.
Jeez, yeah.
But I had insurance.
Okay.
So it was a little difference. So, you call some carriers and they're like, yeah, you're on your own. And some carriers you call and they say, okay, well, this is how much we're going to give you towards that. And then there's some people that say, just go get the new key and send us the bill. But it's all what you're willing to pay for. So auto insurance is one of those situations where you certainly get what you pay for.
Absolutely. What about, we have like about a minute and a half, but what about health insurance? Can you tell us like something about that?
Health insurance it's a monster. The costs of everything are just nonstop. They're going up. What providers and hospitals are charging is going through the roof. What the insurance carriers are having to pay hospitals and providers continues to go up. And then just basically domino effect, you see the rates for insurance going up. I still think we have the best healthcare care system in the world, and I don't say that from a source of patriotism or pride. I say it as someone who lived in Europe for 12 years. It's not even close. our system. The amount of care you can get, whether you have money or not, people take for granted because they don't know anything else. They haven't been in third world countries. They haven't really traveled the world to see what happens when those same things happen to people in different systems. When there's cures, when there's treatments, but you simply can't afford it, what happens to families and people. So I don't knock our healthcare system, but we do have a cost issue in terms of passing that down to the consumer. And the American consumer has been used to a certain amount of money coming out of their pocket over the years. And that's drastically changed in the last 20 years. And people are like having sticker shock when they start to find out how much stuff really costs, how much the carriers were paying, how much was your boss kicking in on your company plan. Those numbers are now being laid bare, and a lot of people are having a difficult time finding affordable health insurance.
Yeah, man. Wow. Thanks, man. Thanks for the knowledge, man. This was good stuff. I appreciate it. For anybody that's interested in working with you, can you please give us your information?
Yeah, you can reach us online, crestins.com, or you can call the office 520-881-5760.
Awesome. Thanks, man. This was fun and very funny and also a lot of knowledge. So thank you so much. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We will be right back after this.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I am your host, Andres Ruiz. We do not have the Pastor Jonathan Lee McClain. That's what I call him, and his mom too. And we now have a guest that does some interesting work that I'm really looking forward to hearing about. We have Jason Kraus with Levity Wellness. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I know that we were talking a little bit about how you done some work with veterans. You've done this work yourself, and let's start off with yourself, like kind of like your journey. What inspired you to get into this type of field? And it sounds like you also experimented with this. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how it has helped you.
Absolutely. Happy to. So I, like many others, found it similar, like massage, sauna, other modalities of recovery, wellness, mindfulness, as you might put it. And I found the float tank in Portland, thought it was a really cool way to relax, had a really great daydream-like relaxation experience. And I
Nice.
thought, wow, very cool. And 3 years later, I sat up out of bed and broke my neck.
Whoa.
And so amidst other traumas from when I was a kiddo and things I went through there, and addiction and family social issues, things like that linger, I found that when I broke my neck and got hooked on the pain meds, a lot of that came back. And all of a sudden I
Wow.
was dealing with all of that and my injury.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, I gravitated back to the float tank. And it really, I don't guarantee any fix, but it was another great tool in helping myself recover from addiction, recover from grief, recover from trauma,
Wow.
and the physical trauma of all of a sudden going from a big, strong guy to having almost no strength in my left arm whatsoever.
Man. Wow.
So it became part of my journey. And then float became part of my maintenance. It was, I'm a little sore, I did a lot around the house, I did a hard workout, long camping trip, whatever it may be, it became part of my recovery. Just that if I want to be right tomorrow, I need this space today.
Nice. Okay. So, man, based on what I'm hearing here, you're not saying, hey, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be like changing you right away, because I'm assuming that it's not just, hey, you get into this thing and it changes your life. I'm guessing that there's other things that you should be doing along the way as well. Or what are your thoughts? What's coming up for you?
Absolutely. So I think we all, especially as we become adults, we know what we should do. We know what we should eat, how much we should sleep. Whether we do or not is the question. And so it's one of those allowances we give ourselves, right? Do we give ourselves enough chance to get that extra hour of rest? And it took me, and I still, even as the owner and proprietor of the business, I have days I have to convince myself it's worth my time. I have to convince myself that you are more tired than you're letting on to.
Right.
And you'd feel a heck of a lot better tomorrow if and having those conversations instead of I don't have time for because I need to do. So it's finding that allowance for yourself in knowing that taking time to rest and recover is not a vulnerability or a weakness necessarily.
Yeah, man. And in regards to that right there, that's that awareness piece, that mindfulness piece of saying, wait, hold on, pause. I'm not feeling good. I need to take care of myself, because if I don't, then I'm going to be grouchy, or I'm not going to be in a good mood, or I'm going to be feeling low energy tomorrow, and I'm going to be paying for it. So I think that just having that awareness is huge. And I'm guessing that just you remembering, okay, this is helping me, so I definitely need to do this. And you've also mentioned in regards to how you've been also focused on veterans. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, floating had this natural draw to the veteran community. Floating's first real educational use was actually by the Navy SEALs.
Oh, okay.
So one of the largest float franchises in the country was founded by, or co-founded, one of their key executive officers was the daughter of a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
And so she was familiar with this practice through her father in that they would use the tanks for hyperlearning, basically uninterrupted sessions of conversational language training in a float tank. And they would learn things in a 6-week period instead of a 6-month period.
Oh, wow.
And they thought, well, there's something to this. So the military has been using it for productive purposes for years.
Okay.
What they didn't realize was all the positive effects that it also has in other arenas by letting the brain unplug and focus on specific areas. So the amount of rest that we give ourselves actually greatly impacts our performance.
Oh, yeah.
You can look at it if you work out 7 days a week, you're going to actually hurt your performance more than 4 days, right? I go back to my grandfather's generation. There's a reason why Sunday was a holy day, not only for the religious purposes, but if he wanted to be capable of picking up a hammer on Monday morning, he needed a day of rest.
Right, yeah.
And I think all of us have devalued that day of rest, so to say. And I know schedules don't always allow it, but at some point, I think we have to make up for that day of rest throughout our week, or we pay for it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's a great way of putting things, and understanding that, wow, yeah, if you work out 7 days a week, you're always working out, you're not going to be feeling as good as if you did that 4 times in a week where you give your body some rest, because that's when the body rests, that's when the muscle builds. And that I love what you said about how it's not weak. It's not a weakness to say, hey, I need some rest.
Absolutely not.
Because I think we come from back in the days, just, hey, you got to keep working, you got to keep doing. If you're not working, then you're lazy. And it's like, no, man, if you're not working, you're resting, you're letting your body heal. It's so important for us to do that.
You do your best work. I mean, science has proven it in all these workplace studies that they've done, that folks working 4-10s are actually happier and healthier than those working 5-8s or 5-9s. And they're finding that people are more productive and do better work,
I believe,
working less hours than when they do, the corporate grind, 16-hour days, 10-hour days at corporate offices, etc. You put out your worst work. So to me, it's one that where you want to put your best self, you have to have something in the tank to do it. And we all can admit our sleep habits probably aren't the best. Some of us try a little harder than others.
Right.
But the tank and massage and some of these other methods of wellness that we have taken into our approach, they're all logic-based, they're all proven, and it's all about maintenance. I mean, especially me, I hit my 40s and I went, oh, the machine needs more oil. It needs more care and feeding, right? Because I can't be the 20-year-old guy that was made out of rubber like I was 20 years ago. And that I do have to actually take care of myself. But the strength is still there.
There you go.
A lot of the wisdom's there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's another fantastic tool. And when I talk about it with veterans, veterans endure something that the civilian can't fathom. We can imagine it. We try to put ourselves in that situation. All the kids playing the video games that are all war-based at this point, right? Everybody's got some kind of vested interest, idea. But the reality of it, you can only really see that from a veteran's perspective.
Yeah,
and myself not being a veteran, I don't even try to imagine that necessarily, because everyone's pain, trauma, what they went through, or even just the stress of being in the military and putting yourself at that risk and that level of sacrifice. We don't try to pretend to understand, because unless you've been there, you really don't. And we know that full-heartedly. And so our mission, our intention, when we bring vets in, that's your space for the hour, the 90 minutes, the 2 hours, whatever you booked it for. That is your space. Whatever you are dealing with, thinking through, coming to terms, that's your business.
Yeah.
And the beauty of that, we've found, is a lot of our vets love it because it's not like talking to a therapist. I don't have to tell my story again. I don't have to relive it. I actually can just get in there and deal with whatever my brain and my heart is dealing with.
I love that.
So it's a very different approach. Again, I don't find it as a substitute, but it is an additional tool that is really useful and proving to be more and more useful as time goes on.
I love it, man. Good stuff. So we have about a minute left, but tell us, like, what are the benefits? I know that you talked about how it could improve certain areas of your life, your body. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So each float tank has roughly 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt, medical grade magnesium sulfate. Man. So that's a lot.
Yes,
right?
It is.
And growing up, you sprained your ankle, you soaked in Epsom. This is like a hypercharged Epsom bath. You soak for 60, 90, or 2 hours, up to you.
Nice.
The benefits from that, the proven benefits from the NHI, National Health Institute, is that it is a safe and approachable treatment for depression and anxiety. Proven safe.
Interesting.
And so that's the bigger studies, right? On top of that, we're funding other studies to help prove out what's already been at the surface level proven, that it causes an incredible drop in stress or cortisol.
Okay.
Stress, inflammation, all those things tie into a million different symptoms.
Yep.
So we just start simply, reduce your stress, see what happens.
Man, good stuff. Woo. This was fire, dude. Yeah, man. So thank you for being here, Jason.
Absolutely.
For anybody that wants to get more information on how they can work with you, please give us your contact information.
Absolutely. So call, text 520-339-6674, or find us on any of the socials, and then as well online, levityrising.com.
Love it. Love it. Good stuff. Thank you, sir, man. You dropped the knowledge today for sure. All right. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We will be right back after this.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, and welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I'm your host, Andres Ruiz. We do not have the Pastor John McClain, and he told me, hey, man, you got to take over, and I'm trying to take over, but I hope I'm doing okay. But our next guest that we have, I tried to say her name, and I didn't get it right. It's okay. You know, that's failure's a good thing. We learn. But we have Mimi Aguilar with
No R on the end either.
Oh my goodness. Mimi Aguilar.
There you go.
That's John's fault. Okay, he typo. Okay, John, that's actually it's not his fault. He didn't spell it right. That's my fault. My glasses, I didn't have them on. Yeah, but getting to Mimi with We Care Tucson. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. And oh man, you have so many amazing things going on. You were talking about it, and I just saw you light up as you were speaking about all these things, and I'm lighting up too, just listening to you and all the exciting things that you're doing. I know that you mentioned a little bit about this Tech Fest.
Right.
And tell us about that, because that sounds like something that sounds like a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Tech Fest, this will be our second Tech Fest. We did it April 13th. Now we're doing it on October 5th in honor of Digital Inclusion Week.
Okay.
It is a free community event.
Okay.
It'll be from 10 to 2 on Saturday, October 5th at our location, which is 3029 North Stone. So we're just south of Fort Lowell. And there'll be all kinds of activities for the kids. There's kind of like carnival games. There is food trucks for them for food. There is a big AZ game truck will be there. It was there last time.
Okay.
And it can house so many kids. It's amazing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And so they'll be there for almost most of the event, except for the last hour. They're there from 10 to 1. And then we'll have digital art. The kids will get to do some art stuff.
Okay.
We have resources, so parents, it's an opportunity to learn about a lot of the resources that are available for them in the community, from healthcare, from digital inclusion stuff, from digital safety, community services, Literacy Connects, and a lot of our community partnerships will be there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so Literacy Connects. I remember going to Literacy Connects years ago, and I met there. I don't know if you know Ann Yolette. No. Okay. So she was there, but so it sounds like a lot of really good stuff, and it sounds like a lot of really good stuff for the young ones.
It's geared for the kids, so that it's geared family.
I like that.
You know, and it's a free event. And what's really cool too is that we usually get the food trucks underwritten for the kids, so the kids at least get a ticket to get free food.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, because I have kids, and my kids, they love electronics. You know, that's the thing.
And each kid will get a raffle ticket, and we do drawing. We gave away 20 laptops in April for the kids. They're recycled laptops that we give out.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun, and we're hoping to make it even bigger and better.
I love it.
October.
Yeah. Well, I want a laptop, I guess, but it's just for the kids. It's okay.
Yeah, you can come in and shop at the store for a wonderful laptop at very, very reasonable prices that help make a difference in our community.
Absolutely. I'll definitely have to check that out for sure. Now, I know that you were also mentioning that you had, a big announcement, and, I was just thinking, okay, well, what is this big announcement? Can you tell us about that?
I can. The big announcement is we are launching our Student Tech Connection.
Okay.
And what that is our mission is to remove the barriers to information, education, and wellness.
Oh, I love it.
And so as part of that, we were made aware of a lot of the kids don't get referred to for our low-cost computer referral program, but they need the laptops and stuff. So we decided to launch the Student Tech Connection, and it's for first grade through high school. And if they're in need of a computer, they just have to come in and show their student ID.
Oh, wow.
And then get a laptop. The most it would be is $100. It's on a sliding scale. They just tell us, for a laptop that has enough memory, RAM, Wi-Fi enabled, cameras and microphones, so that they can do their coursework.
Yeah. And I really think that in regards to all that stuff, you see sometimes kids that don't have the resources to attain that. And now I see that it's so important for people to hear this message from yourself that are needing these resources, because I do see kids that are struggling. We're actually going to be having later on today an amazing woman that I think would be a great connection for you, Maria Vianney with United Hearts of Southern Arizona. She provides jackets. She provides shoes for the kids in December.
When they really need it.
When they really need it, because she saw a need and she said, I'm going to help these kids.
We had a student come in. She was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And she couldn't get a laptop because in third grade, she'd broken one. Now, that's third grade.
Yeah, come on.
At this point, it's like, really.
Learn her lesson, probably.
That was the driving force behind this, realizing that a kid, because of something they did when they were young, I mean, look how many years ago that was.
Right.
And to be penalized for something like that. A kid in third grade doesn't think about the consequences when they get to high school.
No.
And so we decided that was the need. And so we came up with this Student Tech Connect. You can go to our website at wecaretucson.org and find all about it under programs and services.
I love it. That's so awesome. Good stuff. Now, I know you are going to have so many events, which is awesome, but you have this one coming up in December, which is my birthday month. So it's going to be a great one. I know it.
When's your birthday?
December 8th.
Oh, the last day of our event. It's a 3-day event.
Oh, look at you.
It's the Pickalicious Jingle Jam. It's our second annual. It'll be the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay.
At Tucson Racket Club. We partner with them, and it's so on Friday the 7th is women's doubles.
Okay.
On Saturday is mixed doubles.
Okay.
On Sundays is men's doubles and family doubles.
Oh, okay.
And on Saturday we'll have our Mingle Jingle Jam barbecue.
Okay.
And that's open to anybody. You don't have to play pickleball. You can come in and have a barbecue with us.
Nice.
There's silent auction. There'll be raffles. A
Love it.
live band called Element 119. I kept calling them the Fifth Element.
That's a good movie.
Exactly. I realized where I got it from. So, yeah, Element 119 will be playing.
Wow,
And it's a
nice.
barbecue dinner. And
Wow.
So look for that on December 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Love it. Yeah, and I already have some people in mind that I'm sure would be interested because there's people are going crazy about pickleball.
They are.
I've never seen something like this in my life.
We had it last year, and we were up at the Gallery Sports Club last year.
Mhm.
We moved it into town, but we actually, for a first-year event, raised $52,000
Whoa.
and had 267 players.
Oof, man. So
Mhm.
you're definitely, this is the sport.
This is and this is the event. It's a great holiday event, and there's clinics. There's all sorts of things. So we're really excited. We're real excited to partner with Tucson Racket Club
Mhm.
because it'll be in town.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so no, it definitely that sounds incredible. It sounds amazing. Is that already has that already been put out there for people to look
We're
at? or-
just launching. Registration for the event will open September 1st. The
Okay.
website's open. It's the pickalicious.org, or you can get or .com rather. You can get to it through our own website, and we are just coming out with the sponsorship packet. So I have sponsorships.
Okay.
Tucson Orthopedic Institute is our title sponsor again this year, so we're excited
Nice.
to welcome them back.
Wow.
But there's plenty other sponsorships.
I love it. Yeah, no, good stuff. Yeah, and thank you for everything that you're doing for
Thank you.
the community. I mean, it's definitely sounds like you're making a lot of impact in especially the young lives.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
just
it's-
finished youth camp.
Okay, how was that?
Youth tech camp, 3 weeks, and it was amazing.
Oh man,
It
that's
was really
awesome.
great. And this year, we went into Ochoa Elementary School.
Oh, okay, Steve. Yeah, good
Steve,
guy.
yep,
good man.
Steve. In fact, I met with him yesterday before he took off for Chicago today.
Nice.
But yeah, he helped us put that together.
Oh,
We're
that's
finishing it up there this week.
I love it. Yeah. Thank
And
you
each
for
kid gets
everything
a
you do.
laptop at the end of
Ooh,
camp.
look at that. Oh man, they're lucky. These little guys, they're so lucky. So to have you in the community, we appreciate you. And for anybody that's interested in getting involved with We Care Tucson, how can they get a hold of you?
They can go to our website at wecaretucson.org. You can email us at info@wecaretucson.org. You can call us at 520-514-1588, or you can come in person and visit us at 3029 North Stone.
Nice, good stuff, Mimi. You were amazing. You
Oh,
did
thank
you
you.
did a really good job. Mimi,
I have one
Aguilar.
thing I'd like to
Yes,
say.
please.
So today, I'm so proud of my staff. Some wonderful person brought us a bunch of donations. As she was going through it, she opened up a Foot Locker, and it had envelopes of money, and she brought it to me. We're not talking a couple
Wow.
of dollars. We are talking $2,200 that she
Whoa,
returned, and the
look-
woman was so amazed.
Wow.
I'm so proud of my staff for
Yes, yes.
doing the
we're-
right thing.
And we're proud of them. But yeah,
Mhm.
so thank you for being on the show. I appreciate
you.
you. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We'll be right back after this.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I am your host, Andres Ruiz. The Pastor John McClain is not here today. He is missed, and I am taking over for today. It's been a long, beautiful day, and now we have a great, an amazing guest that I've had the privilege of getting to know a little bit better as time has gone on. We have Giovanni Diaz with Image Door. So welcome to the show, man. How you feeling today?
Doing great. Thank you, Andres, for having me here, and
Absolutely.
Also Pastor John McClain too here.
Absolutely, man. No, yeah. I mean, you have a great story that I didn't know a lot about the stuff that you did, that you've done, because we never really got to really talk. But I had you on my show, I believe, was it last week or
last week? Yes,
last
that's
week.
Correct,
And
yes.
you mentioned a few things that really took me by surprise. I was really impressed by your resume and a lot of the things that you've done and a lot of things that you continue to do, seeing just what you've done with John, and also when you talked about some of the organizations that you've worked with before you started to do Image Door. Can you tell us about that and how you got started with those organizations, those companies?
Yes, yeah. First, well, I graduated from U of A,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did some work for Telemundo, and
Okay.
then NBC, Telemundo,
Okay.
then Televisa. I worked for almost 10 years for them.
Okay.
And I had some other clients from different networks,
Mm-hmm.
and from sport events to music videos and news gather. I did a lot of editing and post production for news, and also a lot of camera work,
Okay.
promos, videos, and all that.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for TV shows too. So,
Okay. Yeah. So tell us about Telemundo. How was that experience? Because we all know, I mean, not everybody knows Telemundo, but as a Latino, we know what Telemundo is. But tell us the experience to do that, because especially you as a young man watching Telemundo growing up, I'm guessing that was probably like a dream or something to do something like that.
yes, it was amazing. It was my first project that I did there, with the professional world. So it was a breakthrough in my life. I learned so much from coming from school, going there to do my professional practices, and then getting there, doing some work for them too. So it's amazing. Doing festivals, news, promos, advertisement, all that.
Okay. So for Telemundo, you did the festivals and the
Yes.
promos and all that.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah. And then was this here in Arizona? or-
Yes, in Arizona.
Okay.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So
Arizona.
here in Tucson, or where?
In Tucson, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had so many. I'm so thankful. So many mentors that I had. Pablo Sierra. Jesus Gonzalez, and people that is well known here in the community,
Mm.
and also from U of A, other faculty members.
Okay.
Ed Ackerley. He used to be my professor at U of A. So.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So
For
how
marketing.
how would you say that helped you, just to have those mentors? Like, in what way do you think they helped you to just grow?
Well, I always feel that it's great to be able to learn from those that have more experience than
Mm-hmm.
as young people we are, and you learn from the ones that are younger to the ones that are older that have more experience.
There you go.
And I always care and keep that respect,
Mm.
because the way they see things is so much different from what we see it when we don't have that much experience.
Oh yeah,
It's amazing.
that's
So
beautiful.
different techniques, different ways of looking at things. I remember one time I was doing a festival and I was helping with the production, and little things like how to hold the camera. Some
Mm.
like tips. Oh, do this, do that, because otherwise you're gonna get tired. It's gonna start shaking.
Okay.
And Pablo Sierra just helped me, give me some tips about it.
Mm.
And it's amazing. Those are things that you learn in school, but it's hard to put into practice unless somebody teaches you how to do it. So
Mm.
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And it sounds
Yeah.
like there's so many techniques for what you do. Like, it's not just because, man, trust me, I take video, but it's not the best probably, but I try my best. And I'll do sometimes some Facebook lives, and I'll be walking, and I know that I'm not doing it professionally or the best way, but man, the techniques that you were taught, I guess, like, they probably do make a big difference, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, techniques help you to polish and make it more understandable for people, to
Mhm.
share that same message. Yeah, that's something that that's an image store. We focus on that. We focus on the
Okay.
detail, so we can convey the right message according to our clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, in regards to your clients, like who would you say are the type of clients that you're serving at the moment that you're trying to convey that message to let them know, hey, I can help you?
Yeah, well, it varies a lot. It's a wide range of clients. We also have worked for Roadrunners,
Okay.
the hockey team. You know, we have
Okay. So the Roadrunners, how was that experience like for you to work with the Roadrunner? What did you do exactly like for them?
camera work. We
Okay.
have done a lot of camera work for them,
Okay.
and also for different events like for FC Tucson and
Oh,
some
yeah.
like events like concerts and things like that. We have done that, and so it depends on the project. We have like spas, restaurants that need advertisement for social media or even for TV. We can do that too. We do
Okay.
that for TV.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay. So for people like like you said, you do some stuff for the Roadrunners, and you did some stuff for just just things that you were telling me. Now you do that for Roadrunners, but now do you also do anything for like nonprofits, or is it just organizations? Who else do you work with?
Well, we also do nonprofits. We are very close to John
Mhm.
McClain, and he's involved with so many different nonprofits. And as when we can, we also like to be part of it. Help
Mm.
the community, especially when it's something that it's to enrich the youth, but also like in this case, veterans and other different demographics of people that need help.
Mm.
So we are into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of John, he mentioned that you really did a fabulous job, and I also have to tell you that Martin was also mentioning just how amazing of a work that you do, and I got to see it firsthand as well, just by seeing the videos, and I was really impressed, man. So really, like, I give you a lot of kudos. But tell us about that project and how that was for you to be able to be part of that project.
Yeah, no, I'm so thankful to be part of it. It's a way to share to the community, positive message and help. And it's great to work with people like Martin, like he's great, and
He is.
and John and
Good dude.
many others. Even you, we have done some work, like when we go to shoot some interviews and all that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing to share that the talents that everybody has, because I see it as a teamwork.
Okay.
Production is a teamwork.
Uh-huh.
It's not a only one person thing, and it's something that I always care and always keep it in my heart.
Mm.
That everything we do, it's for to convey a vision that somebody wants to convey, but at the same time, it's a team effort,
Mhm.
and that's the way it is, and that's the beauty of what I can see from production. Team effort. Even right now, right here, like with Tom, doing the radio and checking the audio and all that. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that you really appreciate, and you definitely have to have the passion for it. Like, tell us about how important it is to have passion for what you do.
Yeah, it's well, if there's no passion, there's no incentive. It's like it's something that there's no gratification. It's
Mm.
more than having money, because
Mhm.
money is good to have money, but it's not what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And when you have a passion, you can do things in a different level, and you
Mhm.
can even do better work. So it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have some people that are probably going to be listening to this that are interested in potentially one day doing videography and kind of like what you do. For anybody out there that's listening, what kind of tips would you give them if they want to get started? Like, let's say we're talking to teenagers. Like, that's what we're talking about.
That's a good question. It's always keep learning. Don't think that don't assume that you know everything.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know everything. We're still
Mhm.
learning. There's different technologies are coming, especially now that are evolving all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to keep up with all that. And at the same time, the creativity, AI is there, it's coming. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
coming, it's already here.
It's already here, yeah.
And so it's we have to be creative too. We don't have to let all the computer do everything. We have to also use our brains.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's the way to keep our art, and also to have a very it's a very special way to express ourselves with art and with this kind of field, right?
Absolutely.
So keep learning, don't give up,
Mm-hmm.
always get connected with the right people,
Mm.
and always be careful with whom you're doing business and working with.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's important to.
Yeah,
you know.
you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So
You're
that's
right. You know firsthand. You know.
I know it firsthand personally. I used to be not such a good boy, so I
Yeah,
did some
and-
things in my life that I'm not very, proud of. But
We all have.
we all have,
we all
yes. And now, I'm grateful I'm on the other side and still working on myself. But yeah, man. I mean, right now, is there like a particular client that you're looking for to work with, or anybody that out there that's listening that would be interested in working with you? Anybody that you can think of right now?
Well, yeah, like I said, we do like from sport events to social media, and also anything related like promo videos, TV spots, TV shows, and things like that. Everything we can do that. We have done it, but one of the key things that we're focusing on right now is in emerging companies that want to go to the next level,
Mhm.
that are working the market very hard, and they want to compete with the top players in their industry.
Okay.
So we can help them work their image and the branding, and being able to convey the message, and being able to connect to more viewers
Okay.
for their business. So
Nice.
that's what we're focusing on right
Cool.
now.
Good stuff, man. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. So anybody that's interested in working with you, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach me. My phone number is 520-524-7191. It's an Image Door, and also we have a website. It's a imagedoor.pro.
Okay.
.pro.
Love it. Love it. Good
Okay.
stuff, man. Thank you for being on the show. And we also want to say thank you to United Hearts of Southern Arizona and Balica HRA and Edith Herrera and Maria Vianney for sponsoring some youth that I spoke to the other day, for giving them personal development books and for giving them bracelets. We greatly appreciate you. If you want to look them up, they're on Facebook, United Hearts of Southern Arizona, and Balica HRA, Edith Herrera, and Maria Vianney, 2 beautiful women that were very giving, and we greatly appreciate you. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We will be right back after this.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I am your host, Andres Ruiz. We do not have the Jonathan Lee McClain. We're saying hi to him. I hope he's listening to this. And now we have another amazing guest, somebody that I've had the blessing to meet and actually work with a little bit. Some of the stuff that she's doing, she's very admirable. I really appreciate her. Her name is Maria Vianney Valdez Cardenas, founder of United Hearts of Arizona. So welcome. How are you feeling today?
Good, I'm feeling great. Thank you.
Excellent.
It's
yeah,
hot.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit hot today for sure. This is monsoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to get things started, can you tell us more about like the resources your organization provides to help children and families in Arizona to kind of prepare for personal and professional success? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Our organization, United Hearts of Arizona, we provide the tools for the kids to go to school and not worry about, having the tools to go and learn. That's one of our mission is to provide what they need,
Yeah.
so parents don't have to be worried about, not sending them to school ready to learn. Because to us, a kid should only be worried to go to school to learn.
Yes. Yeah. No, and I remember when you told me that, I was thinking, wow, so these kids, you're providing something so that they don't have to worry about anything but just school. And when we talk about other things that they might have to worry about, what are some of the things that unfortunately some of these kids are worrying about?
Like tennis shoes, clean clothes, jackets during the winter. Sometimes parents don't have the ability to buy those things for the kids. And because of that, they're not sending the kids to school.
Yeah.
Schools, as we know, they depend a lot on the attendance from students, and that's how they collect and they receive their funding. So it is important for the schools to make sure the kids, they come to school ready to learn. Our organization, we focus on that, wanting to help the schools also, to make sure they receive what they deserve, to provide these resources to the students directly to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know that you've told me some of the stories. They're so heartwarming to hear of some of the kids that, you've just seen them and they're struggling to just, whether it's a belt or whether it's just shoes, it's just the essentials. And it's just heartbreaking to hear about that. And sometimes I would see it at schools when I go and speak to them, but for you to see somebody like you helping people and trying to make this community better is so beautiful. And I know that you also do some, collaborations with professional community members to create that supportive environment for children and families. Can you tell us a little bit about those organizations and just what you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, it is important. We cannot do this by ourselves. I mean, especially me, that I have my full-time job and I also have my business, and it requires a lot for me traveling outside of the state. So I can't do it by myself. I can do it by myself, and the board of directors that we have, we all work. We do it because we're passionate and compassionate and dedicated to make a difference. So we don't receive any money, to do this work. So we have to rely on partnerships and collaborations to other organizations like, the police department. They come and talk to the kids. They provide toys to the kids. We have Pascuayaki, have been helping us before. The city of Tucson, Ward 5, the Mayor Romero, different organizations that we, knock on doors and say, hey, we need help. Can you help us? Because we can do it by ourselves.
Absolutely.
When we started 11 years ago, we started with 15 kids, 15.
Okay.
Last year we did 227. Oof. So the need has been growing and growing.
Absolutely.
So we have to rely from organizations and people that share the vision and have the heart to give back. Most of these people, they're business owners, small business owners, that they're doing a little bit better now. But when they were little, their parents or mom depends from these type of programs.
Yeah.
To have them, to go to school.
Yeah.
So now that they're doing a little bit better, they want to give back and say, hey, I'm doing better. Now it's my turn to pay it back. So
beautiful.
that's one of the things that we really enjoy, seeing those stories and said, hey, you know what, Miss Cardenas, I was one of those kids that I needed shoes, I needed jackets. Now, I have a construction company, or I have, a restaurant, and here it is. I want to pay back to my community, because they know also that we do a direct service. Our money comes in and goes into the kids, because we don't receive any, financial help from the organization, because we do it for passion.
I love that. Yeah. And that's beautiful to hear that. And I saw kind of you get a little bit emotional there when you were talking about like how you help these kids, and they were kind of like, you know what, I want to help too. So what you're doing is you're not just building this resource for the kids to get these shoes, jackets, but you're building next generation leaders. If you look at it a little bit bigger, it's like, wow, you're inspiring some other people.
It's very grateful for me when I'm at Walmart, Target, even at Food City, anywhere. I'm doing my personal things, and I get parents, to pull me and say, hey, Miss Cardenas, do you remember me and my kids? And I turn around and I'm like, yeah, sure, too many kids in so many years, for 11 years. But some of those kids, sometimes they're like, Miss Cardenas, look, now my sibling, my little sister, is using the jacket or the shoes that you gave me 2 or 3 years ago.
Nice.
Because that stays in their mind, and it's very important to understand that, you are making an impact. You have to believe in that. You have to believe it, that you're making an impact, so you can do it with your heart, the corazón, like we say it. And we see it, parents, that they don't forget.
Absolutely. No, yeah. And I can imagine just how grateful all these parents are. I'm grateful for you. I mean, just all the stuff that you're doing, I'm always telling you, like, wow, you inspire me to just continue.
It's a lot
to do
of work.
I know it is.
It's hard, because I still gotta sustain my family and my work, but I'm passionate, I'm compassionate and dedicated to do it, and I've been doing it for 11 years, and
That's amazing.
hopefully we keep growing and growing.
Absolutely. I can definitely see it growing more and more. Now, can you just share any stories or examples where your resources significantly impacted the lives of children and their families? I know you mentioned a few now, but is there anything else that comes to mind that you're like, wow, this was a really big, impactful?
Yeah, this is always something that it's, like you said, I get emotional because I don't remember if it was in 2014, 2015, but I had this kid that came to our folklorico class, and he was holding his pants and dancing, and I'm like, why he's holding his pants? So I went and asked him, and he said, no, I'm okay. I said, well, you can talk to me. And he said, well, look, and he has some zip ties on his pants, and he's like, I'm wearing my older brother pants, and he didn't go to school today because it was my time to come and do it.
Oh my God!
I was like, oh no,
Wow.
how it was so the impact, it was so much on me. The next day, I'm like, I called the mom and I said, how do I get pants? What sizes? I need this kid to come to school ready to do what he needs to do and not worry, because kids already go through so much.
Oh my God, yes.
Bullying and
Yes.
so many stuff, and when they not prepare, and they don't have the things they need, they're facing more than regular.
Yes.
So we need to be there for them. They're the future of our country. And maybe like a year ago, this kid, I saw him at the gym. And he's like, Miss Cardenas, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, don't you remember me? And I'm like, no, maybe. And he said, remember the zip ties? And I was like, yeah. His name is Ezequiel. And he's like, it's me. He said, I'm already, going to high school. I'm already ready. And I'm getting ready to go to college. And,
Wow.
He's doing good. He has a job. And I was like, wow.
Whoa.
That type of stories
Híjole.
makes you go and do more and more and more
That's
because you
beautiful.
see it. We're all
Yes.
about direct server. Here it is. Use it. This is your tennis shoes. This is your jackets. Use them. Not going through so many channels just to get the resources.
I love it. Oh man, such a touching story. I'm almost gonna cry here, but thank you for sharing that. It was such a
Yeah.
beautiful story.
And we have so many, but that's one
I
of
know
those.
you do. I know, and I've heard some of them, but man, but for anybody, because I know this goes by quick, but how can listeners get involved or support your organization efforts to foster responsible citizens and professional accomplishments among those in need?
We have our website.
Okay.
There's too many stories there that people can go and see what we do.
Okay.
It's www.unitedheartsaz.org.
Okay.
They can go in there. They can donate if they need to, if they want to. They can call us. They can email us. There's too many. Facebook, Instagram, all these
All over the place.
social media. Right now, we're doing our folklorico classes for free
saw
for
that.
the students, so
That's
they
awesome.
can, be more active during the summer. So all of that, it costs money. Paying for the
course.
rent, paying for the instructors. It does. But we try to help the parents, so especially those that they don't have the ability to pay for
I love
classes like this.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you, Maria. You're a beautiful person, and you're definitely doing a lot of
Thank you.
great stuff. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We will be seeing you next week.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain. Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, and welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I'm your host, Andres Ruiz. The Pastor John McClain is not here today, but we have had some really amazing guests so far.
Yes, sir.
And now we have another amazing guest, a really good dude that I've had the privilege and honor of meeting and getting to know a little bit better. This is Martin Walls. And tell us about what is your position for
I'm
Common
an
Good?
associate producer with Common Good.
Yes, associate producer for the Common Good Radio Show. Thank you for being on the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's always great being around you, brother.
Yeah, same here, dude. I enjoy your company. I know, man. Let's talk a little bit about kind of your background. I know that you do this stuff with the Common Good Radio Show, but you have a very interesting background. Tell us a little bit about what you do. I mean, you're still doing it, but you've been doing this for quite some time. Tell us a little bit about that.
The artwork, or
I would say let's go with both of them. Let's talk about both of them because I like what you do.
oh my. Well, I've been a professional tattoo artist since 1999.
Okay.
I came out of that. I'm a former correctional lieutenant.
Oh.
I won't get too much into that.
Yeah.
But within that, yeah, I got into tattooing. I've done many things since then. But art. I'm an artist all the way.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. And what would you feel inspired you to get started with art?
Oh my, probably since I was a kid. It was my Aunt Beverly. She was a painter. And my uncle, her husband, he built cabinets. And I was about 9, 10 years old when I met them, and she was painting like roses and stuff like this very ornate on cabinets and dressers and stuff like that my uncle was making. And that was just a huge inspiration to me. And since then, I've always drawn. I've always, had some type of pursuit of art.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and I know that just recently you joined the team with John McClain, and tell us a little bit about what you do as the director.
I facilitate the interactions between the people being interviewed, the companies that we highlight, the nonprofits, just really facilitate that everything moves smoothly, right? In the background, making sure everybody gets from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Everybody understands what their role is before we start, getting things set up, helping Iavani set up, Jonathan, just in any capacity that they need me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I've seen you around networking as well. You do a lot of networking. I think you're starting to get to be that known dude, like, hey, that's Martin, so you're definitely out there. How has that been for you, just being able to like just go out there and just connect with the community?
Wow. It's when COVID hit, I like most people, you kind of go through a depression as having had my own business, as a tattoo artist in my own studio. I was used to interacting with people almost every single day, and then that was cut off. And kind of went through a bit of depression, but within that, I kind of found my footing again, and this year, getting with the team and everything else, just these doors of opportunity just keep opening, and meeting the wonderful people in the community that are making the impacts on the homelessness, the addictions, the homeless veterans, everything else. It just, it's everything that's near and dear to my heart that I've been trying to pursue for many years. And it's just been time. It's time to do it now and step up. And, I love meeting with people. I love talking with people, especially about what the Veteran Rescue Mission is doing and John McClain's doing within that. It's just so impactful to see everything that's actually going on in our community. A lot of people talk about it. I used to be the complainer, the person, oh man, look at this or look at that. But, and then, when God opened the doors in my life to be able to step through and he showed me, he's like, no, you're a leader. I need leaders in the community. That's what you've been praying for, leaders. Well, this is what, we have to do if we want change in our community, and especially as rapidly as things are happening here, with the addictions, the homelessness, it just seems like it seems to be exploding lately. We've got to get out there and do it. We've got to be out there and show the love, and just be there for people, unjudgmental, just being there for them.
Absolutely. And when you had that realization from God, like, how was what happened? What was that experience that you said, maybe I need to change my ways or something like that?
Well, that's getting pretty deep.
It is.
I've for the last 8 years, I've led a very solitude life, a personal life, that's really sought the Lord. I've spent time in His Word. I didn't spend any time in church for many years. Just drawing close to Him and listen, being still and listening for that voice. And that's really where I've been at for the last, I'd say 3 to 4 years.
Nice.
Is just yielding to the Holy Spirit's lead in my life. And that's what's led me here and where I'm sitting right here because of that.
Right. Yeah, man. That's so interesting because I hear that a lot. I'm just hearing like, you listen to God and you're waiting for that, that still voice that just says, hey,
yes.
What is it that, for anybody that's interested in like connecting there? Because I guess I'm being selfish, but I'm asking for myself personally, probably, but I'm pretty sure
absolutely.
other people. What would you say would be like some, I don't know if you want to call it tips because we're talking about the Lord, but what would you tell people if they want to connect more with God?
One, you've got to shut out the world. You know, you've got to shut out all the worldliness, the things that pull us away from, you know, our family, you know, things like that. You know, just these common things, and spend some time in His Word. If somebody doesn't know where to start, I strongly suggest the first 3 books would be John, Acts, and Romans.
Okay.
You know, that's where I'd strongly suggest anybody to start with John, Acts, and Romans.
Okay.
Outside of that, you know, then you know, really spend some time reflecting on the words, absorbing them, and asking. You know, Christ said, "Seek," you know, and you should find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. You know, if we truly want to know our Creator, you know, it comes from the heart. We have to want to know Him, and He will reveal Himself to us in our lives. You know, that be still and know that He is God. You know, when we quiet everything around us, you know, all the worldly things that just pull us away from that, you know, and we're in that stillness. That's when we can hear that small, still, quiet voice. It's not loud. He's never gonna press His life over us or push us into something we don't want. You know, you have to want it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff, man. Very deep, and I can hear your heart speaking about it because you've experienced it, you've done it, and you know, based on some of these books where you say John, Acts, and Romans, what would you say is one of your favorite?
Oh my, John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word is God. And then you jump down to 1:14 where it says, and the Word became flesh and walked among us. And you know, the book of John is an eyewitness testimony. Okay. This isn't something that was written centuries afterwards. This was written about 65 AD. Right, you know, so it was pretty close to the ministry, yeah. And you know, within that, you know, they were declaring, this is what we've seen, this is what we experienced, this is what I personally seen. The writer is saying, I personally seen this happen. I personally watched all this take place, and I'm here to testify this is true. And when you understand that it's an eyewitness testimony, you know, it's mind-blowing. 1823, Simon Greenleaf. You ask any lawyer in the world who Simon Greenleaf is, and they'll tell you, oh, well, he's the father of the treaties of evidence. Every courtroom in the world today uses some form of his law that he wrote on how evidence is presented to the courtroom. Well, in 1823, he decided to set out to disprove the resurrection. After all, you know, it's the Bible's based upon that. If Christ didn't raise from the dead, then, you know, we should be pitied above all people. But within that 1823, he set out to do that, you know, in a mock trial. And a couple of months later, he turns his life over to Christ. You know, and it was those evidences itself, you know, that were really affected my life.
Wow. Man, good stuff, dude. Like, whew, this was fire. And, you know, it just hearing you speak from the heart, man, it just touches my heart because I can feel you. Just, you know, I feel like God is speaking through you, you know, to me. And, you know, so I just want to say thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. And, it's very real to me.
Yeah,
very real.
I feel it. I feel you, man. So for anybody that's interested in, you know, connecting with you, maybe want to work with the Pastor John McClain, how can they get a hold of you?
You can either reach me at my number, 520-243-0312. I have my website, mjwallsart.com, mjwallsart.com. TikTok at mjwalls_art.
Okay. Nice. I'm going to have to check you out on TikTok. I'm barely getting into the groove things with TikTok. Yeah. No, but yeah, your art's phenomenal. Just want to throw that in there, man.
Brother.
I love it. It's so good. Yeah. So for everybody listening, I just want to give a big shout out again to United Hearts of Arizona and Balika HRA, Edith Herrera, and Maria Vianney Cardenas for donating to our wonderful youth personal development books and bracelets to help them just become better leaders and improve our future, which is our youth. This is the Common Good Radio Show. Have a wonderful day.
Hands
right, and welcome to the Hispanic Alliance Radio Show. I am your host, Andres Ruiz, and today we're going to mix it up a little bit. Vamos a hacer este segmento en español, y tenemos a una persona muy especial que yo he tenido el privilegio de pues trabajar con ella y también saber de ella. Nos hemos conocido por YWCA, gracias a Dios. Tenemos aquí a Mari Dávila, Realtor con Tierra Antigua Realty. ¿Cómo te sientes el día de hoy?
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Gracias, Andrés, por una invitación otra vez aquí contigo. Muy bendecida, muy agradecida.
Igual.
Y aquí estoy.
Thank you. No, pues, Mari, para empezar, ¿nos puedes compartir algunas historias de éxito en lo que tu orientación haya hecho una diferencia significada para los compradores que tienes que de vivienda por la primera vez que han comprado una casa? ¿Nos podrías platicar una historia sobre eso?
Ya, claro que sí. Tengo muchas historias.
Me imagino.
Pero la primera que se me viene un poquito de memoria, siempre va a haber historias y siempre va a haber cosas muy bonitas cuando uno ayuda a la persona.
Claro.
Y primeramente cuando es tu primera casa, que están todos emocionados y están nerviosos, aparte por el proceso. Hay muchas cositas que un comprador tiene que hacer antes de comprar una casa. Pero lo más bonito al final cuando ya todo se soluciona y les puedo entregar las llaves, ya están ellos muy contentos y también para mí. Pero nomás lo que quiero decir que a muchos compradores que hay allá, que a veces ellos dicen que no se puede, que hay muchas cosas, muchos factores que no pueden calificar.
Sí.
Pero yo siempre les digo que si no tratan en investigar y hablar con una persona profesional, un prestamista, nunca van a saber si realmente pudieron comprar. Tal vez no sea el momento ahorita, pero tal vez pueda ser para unos meses más, para en un año. Pero ellos ya van a estar enfocados cuáles son sus metas, qué es lo que quieren hacer y nunca perder el sueño de tener tu casa.
Exacto. Y yo creo que por eso es tan importante tener un realtor, pues porque si tú lo tratas de hacer solo o empiezas a escuchar a gente o tu tío que nunca ha tenido una casa que te diga, no se puede, se la van a creer y van a decir, no, pues es que esto no es para mí.
Ajá.
Y eso es lo que pasa, que yo veo que mucha gente dice, no, más probable esto no va a poder funcionar. Y yo pienso que un realtor es lo que le dice, mira, esto es lo que puedes, posiblemente no puedes ahorita, pero ya sabes lo que es necesario para que puedas conseguir la casa. Me encanta.
Es importante que los compradores se informen, como tú lo dices, que no se basen que mi vecino o mi pariente agarró el interés muy bajo, las casas estaban muy bajas.
Sí.
Todo el mercado ha cambiado ya, todo ha cambiado, ya no es nada como antes. Ojalá pudiéramos tener esos precios de las casas, pero no lo tenemos. Los intereses están altísimos ahorita, pero eso no hay impedimento que no tengas tu casa.
Exacto.
Ahora todo el tiempo les digo, ustedes no van a parar de rentar. Las rentas van a seguir siempre subiendo.
Claro.
Entonces, ¿no le gustaría mejor usted tener ese pago para su propia casa y no tenerle que pagar a alguien que no sabe si al año lo van a sacar de esa propiedad?
Claro, sí, no. Completamente de acuerdo. ¿Y cómo te mantienes así nomás actualizándote con toda la información que está pasando en el mercado? Porque ya sé que me dijiste que hay algo ahorita que mucha gente debería estar pues al pendiente, que se llama Pima County Lighthouse Assistance Down Payment. ¿Nos puedes platicar un poquito de eso? Me hace muy interesante.
Ese es un programa que el condado de Pima suelta fondos para poder ayudar a las personas con el down payment assistance, con el enganche para comprar tu casa.
Okay.
Estos fondos no todo el tiempo están disponibles. Las personas tienen que estar pronto estar precalificadas para cuando esos fondos ya suelten, ya estemos casi buscando la propiedad o ya casi tener el contrato, porque si no, el prestamista no puede reservar los fondos. Los fondos son temporal.
Okay.
Entonces es importante que el comprador ya esté realmente precalificado, se investigue rápido, no se esperen. Es muy buen programa y los intereses están mucho más bajo de lo que está ahorita actual.
¿Y estos son específicamente para una persona específica o para cualquier persona? Platícanos un poquito de eso.
Este programa especialmente es para primeramente compradores. Si en el pasado tuvieron una casa y la vendieron, pueden calificar, pero si tienen una casa ahorita y quieren comprar otra casa, no califican para este programa.
Okay.
Solamente son para los que no tienen casa ahorita.
Okay.
Tiene sus reglas, cómo calificar, por eso es importante que se comuniquen conmigo para yo poderlos guiar y referirlos con el prestamista.
Ok, me está haciendo pensar ahorita porque yo tengo un familiar que están rentando ahorita y han pensado de conseguir casa, pero como que yo creo que ya se han dado por vencidos, como que ya no pueden. ¿Esto cuándo va a empezar? ¿Ya empezó o cuándo va a empezar?
Los fondos los van a hacer soltar para julio 10. Entonces es importante que ahorita ya el comprador tiene que estar en el proceso de precalificación y estar buscando ya la propiedad para que puedan reservar los fondos.
Ok, sí, ok, perfecto. Eso es bueno saber nomás porque ya va a salir, pues ya estamos a la semana que viene. Ya
estamos en julio para la otra semana.
Sí. Perfecto.
Ahora otra cosa, también quiero mencionar, si este programa, si los fondos se terminan, hay otros programas también que pueden ayudar a un comprador para que no se preocupe que los fondos, si se llegan a terminar y no hay suficiente, ¿qué va a hacer? Hay otros programas, depende de cada situación de la persona, de su crédito. Entonces, lo principal es agarrar una aplicación, tomarla toda la información y ya mirar cómo lo podemos ayudar, en qué programa lo podemos poner.
Claro, y yo creo que por eso platícanos un poquito de la importancia de tener pues un realtor al propósito de que alguien lo trate de hacer solo o que pues que no lo haga, pero platícanos un poquito la importancia nomás de tener un realtor ahorita.
La importancia es porque muchos no saben que cuando nosotros tenemos una licencia, a nosotros trabajamos para una compañía, nosotros los protegemos a ellos por si algo llega a suceder, algo no está bien. Ellos tienen que sentirse que están protegidos por alguien. Cuando ellos compran propiedades de dueño a dueño, ellos no saben realmente qué es lo que están comprando, no saben si están dando toda la información, no saben si la casa vale realmente lo que la están comprando, no tienen realmente la experiencia como que uno en eso se dedica 100% en esto.
Claro, sí. ¿Y me podrías platicar poquitos pues, errores o comunes que cometen los compradores cuando tratan de comprar su primera casa? ¿Qué dirías que son esos?
Los primeros errores que pueden cometer es comprar una casa dueño a dueño. Número 1, el vendedor no tiene mucha información en cuanto realmente está valiendo la casa. En segundo les pueden decir que la casa la venden como está, no hacen reparaciones, no hacen inspecciones. Después pueden ver problemas con la propiedad y no pueden ya regresar y demandar al vendedor porque se hizo el trato de dueño a dueño. Ahora, es importante, si compran una propiedad dueño a dueño, tienen que investigar bien con la compañía de título, quién los va a ayudar, quién los va a proteger, puede ver un lien en la propiedad, puede ver algo que ellos no tengan información, y es muy importante asociarse con alguien que tenga más conocimiento y que tenga licencia.
Claro, sí, sí. No, y buenos puntos que me dijiste ahorita. ¿Tú querías que son los consejos o estrategias conocidas que los compradores que estén comprando su primera casa puedan utilizar para hacer su proceso de compra de vivienda más fluido y exitoso? ¿Qué dirías que sería eso?
Para ser súper exitosos cuando compras tu casa, lo primero que tienen que ser ellos, es muy importante trabajar como equipo, tanto el comprador como el realtor, como el agente, ayudarnos, porque a veces pasa que, a mí me ha pasado muchas veces que mando información y estas casas no les gustan, o a veces ellos, si me mandan las casas que les gustan, yo ya puedo tener un poquito de información, cómo más, qué área les gusta comprar, qué área les gustaría, el precio. Es muy importante no nomás dejar 100% a la gente o 100% al comprador. Es importante trabajar como equipo.
Me gusta eso, perfecto. Pues para las personas que escuchando, que quisieran trabajar contigo, ¿cómo se pueden comunicar contigo?
Hay varias maneras. Número 1, me pueden hablar al 520-440-0734.
¿Lo puedes repetir otra vez?
Claro que sí. La área 520-440-0734. Ese es mi número directo, es mi celular. O también se pueden comunicar conmigo por el Facebook o Instagram. Y en Facebook es Mari Sales Tucson.
Ok, perfecto. Pues Mari, te agradezco por haber estado aquí. Me encantó toda la información y yo te voy a tener en mente porque tengo una persona que yo creo que le ayudaría a esto de down payment assistance. So, es muy importante que la gente que está escuchando, que quiera empezar a comprar su primera casa, ese Pima County Lighthouse Assistance Down Payment, pónganse en las pilas, como dicen, porque ya va a estar aquí. So, gracias de nuevo por haber estado aquí y también gracias a todos ustedes por haber escuchado Hispanic Alliance Radio Show. También le queremos dar las gracias a United Hearts of Arizona y Bálica HRA con Edith Herrera y María Vianney Cárdenas por ver haciendo patrocinado jóvenes, que yo les di una plática. Ellos les compraron libros y pulseras de afirmaciones para mejorar estos jóvenes, que sean mejores líderes de nuestra comunidad, porque si tenemos mejores líderes para nuestra comunidad, vamos a tener una comunidad bonita. Muchas gracias por escuchar. Ahorita regresamos con más.
Hispanic Alliances Radio Show. Highlighting Tucson Hispanic organizations and culture every week.
All right, welcome back to the Hispanic Alliance Radio Show. I am your host, Andres Ruiz. And again, we're going to be doing this in Spanish. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Vamos a tener a una invitada muy especial que yo tuve el privilegio de conocer en un evento donde di una plática y conectamos muy bien. Me gustó todo lo que estaba platicando y las cosas que hace. Ella se llama Dilma Vallejo. Es directora y editora de la revista Perfil Social. Bienvenida, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, Andrés. Muy bien, gracias a Dios. Gracias
Perfecto.
por invitarme.
Gracias por estar aquí, te agradezco. Yo veo todas las cosas que haces y me inspiras mucho. Me quedo, wow, esta muchacha muy joven y haciendo tantas cosas ahí en la comunidad. Y es algo muy inspirante. Gracias por todo lo que haces. Estoy muy agradecido por ti, lo que estás haciendo para la comunidad.
Pues muchas gracias igualmente. Mucho gusto de haberte conocido en esa conferencia, que también pues impactó tu mensaje.
Oh, gracias.
Impactó tu mensaje y no pude evitar salir y presentarme, porque
Sí.
yo me presenté solita.
Sí, sí.
Y me encantó tu discurso, me encantó el mensaje que tuviste para toda la audiencia y cómo la manera en la que conectaste con todos nosotros.
Gracias, te lo agradezco, sí. Y me gustó que eres bien valiente, porque tú eres la primera que dijiste. Yo levantaste la mano y me quedé, qué bueno, mira, que es lo que me gusta, pues cuando la gente dice, yo voy a decir algo, pues me encantó. Pero para empezar, esto de la revista Perfil Social, ¿qué dirás que te inspiró a trabajar como la directora de Perfil Social?
Bueno, pues, ¿qué me inspiró? Yo pienso que fue mi actitud de servicio,
Okay.
Mi actitud de servir. Tengo más de 10 años
Okay.
de experiencia en servicio al cliente. Nunca había trabajado pues como tal, como directora, dueña de una revista,
Okay.
pero pues había estado, inicié, ahora sí que, bueno, de que desde chiquita yo creo que lo traigo en la sangre. Yo
Okay.
vengo de una familia comerciante,
Okay.
de papás comerciantes y pues como fui creciendo y después pues puliéndome, educándome en el área de servicio al cliente, pues inicié como banquera en México.
Okay.
Y ahí fue como me fui pues, como decimos, pues educando, perfeccionando, actualizando y preparándome más. Entonces, al llegar aquí y presentarse este proyecto, pues no había tenido la oportunidad de trabajar como tal en esto, en esta área, pero pues dije, le entramos. Entonces,
Sí.
yo creo que fue eso, esa actitud de servir que he traído desde chiquita.
Sí, y sabes algo que estás platicando, pues tus papás, lo que hacen ellos. Yo creo que, como dijiste, hay que entrarle. Y eso qué valor, qué valiente eres, porque, como te digo, estás joven, estás haciendo una revista que, wow, es muy impresionante, Pero platícanos poquito así como cómo te ayudó eso, la enseñanza de tus papás. Me imagino que ellos también nomás viéndolos te ha de haber ayudado de alguna manera.
Pues sí, fíjate que bien, yo, como te mencionaba, vengo de padres comerciantes. Mi papá siempre, y mi mamá también, pues siempre desde chiquita yo crecí viéndolos como siempre trabajar. Mi mamá también trabajando y que nunca se rendía. Entonces, siempre yo tengo esa imagen de mi mamá.
Wow.
Siempre recuerdo que ella pues nos sacó adelante pues prácticamente pues sola y con mi papá combinados, ¿no? Porque pues mi papá también por su lado, entonces me enseñó lo suyo, pero mi mamá siempre yo crecí viendo esa imagen de mi mamá. Entonces yo creo que es lo que me ayudó a seguir y a seguir hasta ahorita, porque hasta hay veces que pues uno quiere tirar la toalla, como dicen, pero pues no tenemos otra opción, seguimos adelante.
Así es, qué bonito. Y sabes algo que me gustó lo que dijiste, que tu mamá, como siendo mujer también, me imagino que qué tan impactante eso fue para ti ver una mujer haciendo lo que estaba haciendo ella.
Sí, pues mi mamá es una mujer a quien admiro mucho porque
Claro.
nos sacó adelante pues con trabajo, con un gran trabajo, con mucho esfuerzo, y entonces yo creo que siempre los valores influyen mucho pues ahora sí que en el crecimiento, en el éxito que nosotros queramos tener y pues tomar las decisiones correctas, ¿no?
Claro, no, sí, qué bonito y qué bonita historia de tu mamá, pues la felicito a ella por verte, sido como tu mentora, pues era una mujer que te enseñó por acción, ella tomó acción, que se me hace tan bonito.
Y sí, fíjate, y sí como pues con acciones, porque, o sea, ella nunca me dijo, oye, tienes que ser así o tienes que ser así, no. Ni nunca, o sea, no, ella pues siempre... también yo veo que a veces dicen que mi mamá es mi mejor amiga, o sea, no, mi mamá no, o sea, quiero decir que no es mi amiga, o sea, sí es mi amiga ahora de grandes, pero yo nunca la miré como mi amiga, o sea, mi mamá así como, mi mamá es mi mamá, ¿sabes cómo?
Sí,
o sea,
sí.
entonces, yo creo que ella con sus acciones me enseñó a no rendirme, a seguir siempre adelante y a dar pues lo mejor que
Qué bonito,
podemos.
qué bonito. Gracias por compartir, te lo agradezco. Cuando se trata de la revista, ¿qué servicios específicos estás proporcionando pues con Perfil para apoyar la comunidad hispana?
Sí, mira, pues la revista Perfil Social somos una herramienta publicitaria que eleva la imagen de la comunidad hispana a través de nuestra publicación mensual y pues publicamos eventos culturales, sociales, empresariales, publicidad para negocio. Nos enorgullece también como medio publicitario crear esas conexiones que impacten a los emprendedores latinos en diferentes categorías empresariales.
Me encanta, sí. Eso de nomás las conexiones y la importancia que yo veo como, no es nomás conectar, es también como son como amigos, pues son amigos que se están apoyando uno al otro. Y es lo que vi en el evento, que ustedes eran como unos, pues se veía que eran amigos, pero se están apoyando uno al otro, como se vio bien bonito eso. A ti como, ¿qué tan importante ha sido eso? Y para las personas, los empresarios que están escuchando, la importancia de esa conexión con la gente en la comunidad.
Sí, pues fíjate que sí me ha aportado mucho porque ahora, como decimos, esas conexiones son las que nos llevan, una persona pues nos introduce a la otra, la otra nos presenta a la otra y es como el tiempo que yo inicié como director de la revista, es mi tercer año al frente de este proyecto. Entonces yo le llamo pues universo, Dios, oportunidades, vida. La vida te presenta las personas correctas que van aportando algo en tu camino. Digo, hay correctas y hay incorrectas, pero pues nos quedamos con las correctas, ¿verdad? O si de repente hay incorrectas, pues nos quedamos con lo bueno, porque nadie somos perfectos, ¿verdad? Entonces, me ha aportado mucho el crear ese tipo de conexiones de manera personal, y es lo que yo trato de hacer, el mensaje que yo quiero transmitir a mis clientes, a mis amigos, a mis colegas del mismo del medio. Es lo que yo he vivido, lo que me ha servido, yo lo quiero transmitir a las otras personas.
Qué bonito. Y eso es como tú lo que quieres hacer es ayudarle a la gente como tú te ayudaron a ti.
Sí.
Eso es algo muy bonito de ese servicio, de poder ayudarle a los demás. Y sí veo pues que tú tienes esa intención de poder ayudarle a tu comunidad. Y ahorita, ¿qué dirás que ahorita son unos proyectos o iniciativas futuras que tienes planeada para Perfil, para seguir mejorando pues la comunidad hispana?
Sí, pues para seguir siendo competitivos, ¿no? En el área de medios, como medio de publicidad. Nuestro proyecto es seguir trabajando en la comunidad, invitar a mujeres y hombres emprendedores a formar parte de nuestras ediciones, resaltando pues el éxito de cada una de las personas y pues promoviendo sus negocios, porque como anteriormente lo decíamos, el valor más importante, bueno, esto no lo mencioné, pero te decía que mi actitud de servicio es las que me motivó a iniciar en este proyecto. Entonces, el valor más importante que tenemos como revista, como medio de comunicación, medio de publicidad, es nuestra actitud de servicio, y es la experiencia que el cliente se lleva al momento de empezar a trabajar con nosotros. Vamos a hacer una diferencia de solo, no queremos, por así decir, ay, pues ya nos contrataste por 6 meses, ya nos diste el dinero. No, o sea, nosotros vamos a hacer que esto funcione. ¿Por qué? Porque si yo le doy resultados a mi cliente, el cliente, pues crear esa relación, esa larga relación de negocios.
Claro, me encanta. No, y pues gracias por toda esta información. Me encantó la historia de tu mamá, de tu familia. Qué bonita historia. Gracias por compartir esa. Para alguien que quisiera utilizar de tus servicios, ¿cómo se pueden comunicar contigo?
Sí, pues mi número es el 520-331-9878. También los invitamos a visitar nuestra página web, que es www.perfilsocialmagazine.com. Perfecto, muchas gracias por estar aquí, te lo agradezco. Era una gran oportunidad de escuchar tu historia. So, gracias por tu tiempo. And also thank you to the listeners right now. I just want to give a big shout out to United Hearts of Arizona with Maria Vianney, and also Balika HRA, Edith Herrera, for providing personal development books and bracelets to the young people that I got the opportunity to speak to this past week who are headed to college. They were really grateful for the books. They were really grateful for the bracelets. We appreciate you, Edith Herrera and Maria Vianney. This is the Hispanic Alliance Radio Show. I just want to give a big shout out to Pastor John McClain for giving me the opportunity to be on here, and also Martin Walls for stepping up and teaching me a thing or two. This guy is amazing, so I appreciate you, brother. And so we will be seeing you next week. Adios.